the opposition targeting Labor over its potential plans on tax.
And why not? Because they're not ruling out changes to the stage 3 tax cuts altogether. They're saying there's no change to the policy. Even today, the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, said there needed to be a national conversation on the budget going forward. So why wouldn't you go for this? There was a bit of news out of Question Time, Kieran, in the Optus hack in terms of that and the Federal Like Act. We'll get to that in a second, but let's have a look at this first question from the opposition leader in relation to can you rule out tax cuts, change to tax cuts?
Australians are suffering under your government in relation to rising costs of living pressures at the supermarket, in their electricity bills, in their gas bills, at the Bowser, when they renovate their homes, and certainly in relation to increasing mortgage payments that they have to make under your government. With these increasing pressures on Australian households, will the government rule out tax increases?
Our position on tax, as we took it to the election, is well known, and there are no changes to that position. That the highest taxing government in Australia's history is the Howard government, and the second highest taxing government in Australia's history is the Abbott-Turnbull-Morrison government. Those opposite are the ones who go for higher taxes.
Last week, in an interview on Sky News, the Minister for Finance refused to rule out changes to franking credits, changes to negative gearing, and refused to rule out scrapping stage 3 tax cuts. Will the Treasurer rule out changes to franking credits, negative gearing and stage 3 tax cuts?
Every time the member for Hume opens his mouth, he reminds us why, in the 15 seasons of Sean McAuliffe's Mad as Hell, there has never been a funny character than when the member for Hume played himself on Wednesday night. And you can see why Sean McAuliffe tapped the mat after 15 seasons. You cannot top the comedic performance of the member for Hume being interviewed by Laura Jays.
And later in Question Time, the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, was asked about the excise cut, the petrol excise cut coming off, 22 cents a litre. That happens this Wednesday. He went on the counter-attack over this.
I find it very concerning that those opposite are either being dishonest about that or they don't understand that that's the legislation that they put into this parliament. We've been very upfront with people before the election, during the election, after the election, that when you inherit a budget which is heaving with $1 trillion in Liberal Party debt, from those opposites spraying money around to their mates, giving money out to everyone who comes through the door, then that necessitates some difficult decisions on this side of the House.